Good morning. So it occurred to me last night, and even more so this morning, why I specifically, and I think this is true of all of us, why we feel jealous and envious and somehow diminished when we see someone else flourishing or achieving or stepping up or being successful in life. Now I know this is not our permanent state, but we've all experienced this where we see someone, it could be someone famous, it could be an acquaintance, it could be even a close friend. And although on the surface we might say, "Oh, that's so cool, I'm so proud of you," deep down, we somehow feel that their success diminishes us or makes us appear less than by comparison. We see someone else's light shining and we think that somehow that makes our light appear more dim. And all I think that describes is a lens of viewing the world that is based on scarcity. It's a scarcity mindset. And it basically is looking at the world as a zero-sum game where if one person succeeds, I can't succeed. There's only so many slices of the pie to go around. And I think it's a very common viewpoint to have, particularly in the Western world, which is so focused on individualism and the dog eat dog world. And it's such a dangerous trap to fall into. And I don't think it's anything you completely grow out of, because I think some of that is just the human ego and our natural tribalism and competitive tendencies. And I think it can be healthy on some level if it motivates you. But a view of the world that I would like to offer that I think is more conducive to win-win thinking rather than win-lose thinking would be looking at the world through the lens of abundance. And instead of looking at someone else and being demoralized, you can be inspired. I truly believe that what one man can do, another man can do. We're all cut from the same cloth deep down. In our society, it's difficult to see this way because there's such a glorification of celebrities, and we tend to think that certain people are special or anointed or just more talented. And absolutely, people are more talented or skilled in certain areas than other people. Our culture also glorifies good-looking people, so it makes people who aren't good-looking feel inferior by comparison. Our culture glorifies certain attributes in certain people. So, like for males, for guys, our culture tends to glorify, the strong, very masculine type. And then, the archetypes still exist for both males and females. And I think it's important not to get caught up in those rigid and limited viewpoints of the world. But going back to abundance, when you look at someone that's successful, a helpful way to view that is to look at yourself and say, look, this person did it. Whatever weaknesses they have, they found a way to work on those. They found a way to double down on their strengths, and they found a way to flourish. And I bet if instead of looking at that person and either diminishing or judging them, I bet if you actually viewed them as a person and found out what they did to be successful, I bet it would surprise you. It would involve a lot of humility, a lot of ups and downs, and probably a lot of habits. So if we can view those people as inspirations rather than images of why we're not good enough, it can absolutely change your life. And that's something that has taken me a long time to let go of, the resentment and scarcity headspace. And viewing the world, when you look out at the world, I would view the world as just an indication of why I'm not good enough. When in reality, you can look at success as a marker of why you can succeed. All these other people are succeeding. And of course, when I say success, that's very relative. There are certain images in our culture of success that I do not want to be like, and I do not agree with at all. But when you see or meet someone who is truly flourishing, you can internalize the idea that that is possible for yourself as well. We live in an abundant world. There is no shortage of the ability to grow. It reminds me of a quote that I love that describes win-win thinking very well, which is, a rising tide raises all ships. Meaning, when you decide to fully grow and step into your power, you are not only going to improve the quality of your life and your thinking, but you're going to directly and indirectly affect the quality of thinking and the quality of the lives of those around you. And that's what I'm personally motivated to do, is just be the best I can so that I can be a beacon of inspiration for other people and just spread love and, positive virtues to those around me. So this is something, obviously, I could talk about. It can be talked about for hours and hours and hours, the concept of abundance versus scarcity. But see if you can recognize when you go into scarcity thinking, when you want to judge or tear down someone else's accomplishments because it makes you feel inferior. And instead, see if you can notice when that feeling comes up, and see if you can pivot and turn it into thinking, oh, well, that person did some cool stuff. I wonder if I could do some cool stuff as well. I wonder if their success is shedding light on an area that I've been ignoring in my life. And instead of beating myself up about it or ripping on that person, I can take a good look in the mirror and understand where I can step up. So it's just a really, really important concept, and so much of social media is based on a scarcity mindset. I mean, if you look at the comment section on most videos, it's just tearing people down because these people don't understand that we live in an abundant world and there's so much possibility out there. And if you can change your thinking to more of win-win, where you celebrate others' successes and use their success as fuel for your own success, I mean, it can be an absolutely beautiful place. And I think that's how we change the world, is get into that abundant headspace and grow, and then spread that outwards. So I hope you really think about that. It's been a long process for me, but abundance is the true nature of our reality. Peace out.